Curled my hair today and put on makeup, which is super weird because that hasn't happened in a minute, you know. Why? Just staying in my house. Anywho, hi. My name's Riley and I'm here to talk about something that's real close to my heart, and that is my book boyfriends. Okay, let me just say this. I've been reading, you know, my whole life. I've been a reader from like my whole life. I've been a reader. Okay, so these are the boys that have stayed with me and helped me be the person that I am today. These are my book boyfriends. I'm really excited to talk to you about it. I'm a little worried that I'm gonna swoon because these guys are swoon worthy. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go chronologically through my life. I think that's important to note because two of these books are like middle grade. Middle grade, yes, but I still very much enjoy them. And I think, you know, they're good. So, the first boy I'm going to talk about, Prince Charmant from Elle Enchanted. This is a new copy because my old copy got ruined because I read it so much. I used to, little 7th grade Riley would just sit and read it and reread it and reread it, especially the letters. The letters in these books. There's this thing where Prince Char is always just like, hey Ella, are you old enough to marry yet? And she thinks he's kidding, and so she makes like funny little jokes because she's like a quirky girl, and she's like, I'm old enough now, but I'm still too short, like all these things. And there's this, I have it, I've marked it, where he responds and he's just like, but you write that you are too young to marry, or too old, or too short, or too hungry, until I crumple your letters up in despair, only to smooth them out again for the 12th reading, hunting for hidden meanings. I have read that passage 100 times in my life. I just, even now, it's like, I love him, okay? And then if you haven't read this and you've seen the movie and you're thinking of that Prince Char, this Prince Char has nothing to do with it. I don't have a problem with the movie. Hugh Dancy is plenty swoon worthy. The Char in the book is way different. Movie Char knew he was hot stuff. Book Char knows nothing. He doesn't know he's hot stuff. He doesn't care that he's hot stuff. All he wants is Ella, and he's just sweet. He's just sweetums, okay? Sweetums, sweet boy. Love him. Love him. My next one. This is a series, another series that was very important to me. The Gallagher Girl books. Oh, there's one before this book that has a boy named Josh, and he's fine. He's sweet, whatever. And I remember reading that book and being like, oh, Josh is so cute, I love him. And then getting to this book and getting Zachary Good. And I was just like, Josh who? All about the Zach. So we have an all-girls school. Sorry, I didn't explain that. It's an all-girls spy school, okay? And in the second book, they do like the Tri-Wizard tournament thing where they invite like another school to come and like spend the semester with them. And so they bring in a boys' school, okay? And Zach is one of the boys in the school, and he is cocky, he's mysterious, he's a little tortured. It's like, he's got a past. You can tell he's been through some things, you know. He's just enough that you're like, what's going on with you, Zach? There's something going on. There was a mysterious air about him, okay? And I love him. Okay, so these are my two middle grade books. Next one, Mr. Darcy, Pride and Prejudice. Broody, moody, wonderful boy. He's kind of a butt face, like, let's be honest. He's a wee bit of a butt face, but he learns and he grows, and at the end he's like, hey, I was a butt face. And just the angst that Lizzie and Mr. Darcy have get me. I will admit that I watched the movie before I read the book. The Keira Knightley movie. The fist clench. Y'all know. Love it. Love it. Love him. Love him. The next one. It's a Jem Carstairs. Not Will. Jem. All about the Jem. I know some people ship Will. I know some people ship Jem, Will, and Tessa. I don't. Just Jem and Tessa. Both can go away. I'm sorry. Like, he's fine. I mean, he adds some good one-liners, but like the whole time I was just like, who cares about Will when they're sweetum gems. Jem, I love him. I love him. I love him. I'm currently reading the Lady Midnight, those books. I'm on the last one right now. I'm actually like have like 50 more pages. Anywho, when I was reading the second one and how there's like a lot of Jem and Tessa in that, and I was just like, oh my gosh, because I read this like years ago, right? But when I was reading those books and Jem and Tessa were in those books, so when I was done with the second one and there was that huge cliffhanger and all that stuff, and then like normally I would have been like, okay, I need the third book, but I didn't. I remember like it was really late and I was just like, I need Jem and Tessa. Like they just, Cassandra Clare has just like snuck them in and given me a little bit of them, just enough for me to like be like, oh my gosh, I forgot. And I stayed up until 3 a.m. just flipping through this book, just flipping through it and just being like, Jem and Tessa, oh my heck, he just wanted to marry her. He was like, I don't care if I die, I just want to like marry you before I die. And then there's that scene where he's just like, you don't, oh, I marked it again. Marked it. It says, what is it? You think because I'm ill that I'm not like, do you think that I do not know? He said that when you take my hand, it is only so that you can feel my pulse. Do you think I do not know that when you look into my eyes, it's only to see how much of the drug I have taken? If I were another man, a normal man, I might have hopes, presumptions even. I might. You can't even believe that I could want you. I need to take a moment. My heart is warm. I love him. I love him and Tessa. I love that even though he became a silent brother, he like didn't turn off his emotions. Like there was that thing where it's like, not everybody that I loved had died, you know, because he loved Tessa, and like because of like her, he was able to like keep a little bit of his humanity, you know, for like over a century. And like over a century they go, oh, man. I love him. Jem and Tessa. But Jem is my little Jem. Okay. 2. This is my favorite book. This is like my favorite like fantasy book. I've been watching a lot of booktubers do their like tier ranking of books, and I've saw this book come up on several, you know, booktubers that I really like, and they put him in the good category, and I'm just like, what? The good? No. This, for me, if I was to do that, God tier. Okay. Carry on. Bazzelton Grimm Pitch. When I say that I want to name my child Bazzelton, I would name my child Bazzelton. Okay. I've had conversations with my mother about it, being like, theoretically, if I was to have a child and I wanted to name him Bazzelton, is that a thing that I could do theoretically? And she's like, no, Riley, you can't. And I'm like, but I could. Because I would. Honestly, you checked me. If I get married, Bazzelton Grimm Pitch. First name Bazzelton, middle name Grimm Pitch. Anywho, love him. Love his Gucci suits. Love his sass. Love the fact that he's like a kind of a broody vampire, but like so much more than that, you know. He gives me everything that I need and wanted from other books, and he gives them to me, and he does them better. Okay. And the fact that this book is not getting recognition it deserves. Do people not know what Rainbow Rowell was doing in this book and how wonderful it is, and how she like tackled the chosen one trope, and how it's like an ode to Harry Potter, but it's also making fun of Harry Potter, but it's also its completely own thing. It kills me. The second one was fine. I have theories about the second one. Part of me thinks that Rainbow Rowell was writing another one and it was taking her too long, and so before she could finish it, they just were like, let's publish what you've written so far, and that's why the second one. Look at the size disparity. Anywho, that doesn't matter. But if you guys want to talk to me about the second one, I'd love to talk to you, because I have ideas, I have thoughts. Bazzelton Grimm Pitch. Love him. My next one is the book that I recommend the most. because I think it's like the most accessible book. I have friends that are really into like Harden from After, and I'll be like, I have a cure for that. And his name is Jace Garrett. He's the cure for problematic boys. Jace Garrett. Love him. This is My Life Next Door, by the way. If you have not read My Life Next Door, read it. Jace Garrett is wonderful. He plays no games. No games. He doesn't. What is a game? He doesn't know. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about games. I love in this book that it's like from the moment that they like meet, they're kind of like together. But like it's not one of those books where they like fall really fast or anything. They're like dating, you know, from the first, and there's no games, there's no other guys, there's none of that. It's just Jace Garrett. There's drama outside of the relationship a little bit that causes a bit of issues in the relationship, but not because of Jace, not because of Jace. Jace is wonderful. He's sweetums. He's supportive, he's caring, he's loyal, he's not overprotective. Love him. Love him. Levi from Fangirl. Love him. I did not want to read Fangirl. I read Carry On, not even knowing that Fangirl was a thing. I just, out of the blue, like before I even like started going on BookTube or anything, I just picked Carry On off of like a shelf at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, this kind of sounds like Harry Potter, I'll read it, and it changed my life. Anywho, so once I read Carry On, I like researched it and I realized that like it was tied to Fangirl, and I was like, I don't think I want to read Fangirl because I don't want to like think of like Baz and Simon as like things within this book. So I was a little hesitant, but then once I read it, I was like, oh ho 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 ho, oh ho 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 ho, Levi. The fact, okay, so the thing that I love the most about Levi is that he invested in Kath. You know, he put in his time, he put in his effort, he like invested, and he was like, this girl's something special. I'm gonna stick around, I'm gonna be there for her, you know? And like, he just gives Kath time. She's got some things she's gotta work through, you know, in order for them to be together. And there's no pressure. He just gives her time, and he's just there for her, and he supports her. My hair going a little bit, kinda. Anywho. He's just there, and he supports her, and he's wonderful, and I love him. I would date him in real life. I would date all of them in real life. All of them. You know, and like, oh, I wanna have a little chat at the end of this. Like I said before, I don't like problematic boys in my books necessarily. Like, I'll read some books that have problematic boys, but those are not the guys that like stick in my feelings, because I'm in college, okay? Dating is a thing that I have to deal with, and I have to deal with problematic boys on the day-to-day, you know. I have to deal with those boys. So why would I want to deal with them in my books? I don't want to deal with them in my books, because I gotta deal with them in the real world. You know, I have blah, gross. Why would I want to deal with that in the real world? Why? I don't. I just want sweet boys that when I'm sad I can go to, you know. I can't, this book is home to me. These books are home. Okay, so when I'm having a bad day, these are the books I go to. And I'm just like, I just need someone to love me and care about me. I need to be safe. I need some therapy from the real life boys that suck. So these are the boys that don't suck. And those are the boys that I've chosen to give the title of book boyfriend. That is it for this video. If you liked it, let me know. If you're watching it, let me know. If any of these boys are your book boyfriends, let me know. I would also love to hear if you guys have any good book boyfriends, any, you know, boys that are unproblematic. If you have any recommendations for me. It's quarantine. I'm stuck at home. And I've got a lot of time to read, you know. All I got is time. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. If you guys want to talk about my book boyfriends, let's chat. I'm here. Okay? Yeah. So again, my name's Riley. Thanks for watching this video. Leave a comment if you watched it. I'm curious.